You're welcome to the Gavel. I'm Linda Akibe. It's almost a given that something interesting, eye-opening and intriguing always happens in the National Assembly. Every week comes with a whole new drama in the National Assembly. This week, President Goodluck Jonathan unexpectedly suspended the CBN governor and sent his replacement to the Senate for confirmation. That sent ripples across the country. We'll get to that later on in the program. Now, the Senate and the House of Representatives during the week beamed its searchlight on subsidy on kerosene. The House of Representatives have begun investigating subsidy on kerosene, and federal lawmakers in the Senate called for an outright stoppage of subsidy on kerosene, describing it as unconstitutional.
Kerosene sells for 170 to 180 naira per liter. I'm talking of Bayelsa State. At the Wago station in Odi, kerosene price is 170 naira to 180 naira per liter. They say it's for the masses. The answer is true. Mr. President, this morning between 6:07 a.m. and 6:44 a.m. at New Yanya, Maidole and Sons Nigeria Limited, price of kerosene is 105 naira in Yanya area. In Beko petrol station opposite Joy FM in Makodi, the price of kerosene is 155 naira.
Senator Olubunmi Adetunbi explaining how much Nigerians have to pay for kerosene in different parts of the country. On a daily basis, Nigerians pay exorbitant prices for kerosene, even though the Ministers of Finance, Petroleum and the NNPC have admitted that there is subsidy on kerosene after all. This subsidy was supposed to make the product more affordable to Nigerians. It's a bitter pill for many to swallow.
When I went to a police station, I think it's 180. If they can fit, let the price come down. More than 180, it will be okay for us because there's no any money this time around to buy much kerosene like that.
And if we want kerosene to be well priced, far cheaper than what we ever could bargain in our widest imagination. Remove kerosene subsidy, everything.
This lawmaker is not only concerned that Nigerians pay this much for kerosene in spite of a subsidy on the product, but he also questioned the legality of the entire scheme.
Kerosene subsidy scheme is manifestly illegal, unconstitutional, and a brazen breach of appropriation acts passed by the National Assembly, as there have been expenditure of public funds in contravention of sections 80 and 162(1) of 1999 Constitution as amended and attendant appropriation acts.
Some lawmakers called for the outright cancellation of subsidy on kerosene.
They said in NPC, if you remove subsidy, the kerosene will reach 300 naira per liter. That is not true. You don't have to go to school to know the theory of demand and supply in relation to the price. Now the supply is being maneuvered by NPC because they are the only importer. So the supply is not enough. But if you agree, we tell the NNPC to stop this subsidy, the price will come down because many independent marketers will go and import kerosene and they sell it cheaper. I'm telling you that the kerosene will be cheaper without subsidy.
But the chairman of the Finance Committee drew the attention of the Senate to a pre-existing motion from the House of Representatives.
One of the documents submitted by NNPC to support their subsidizing kerosene was a motion passed by the House of Reps that they should sell it at 50 naira. So if you have two motions, subsisting motions, one in the House, which is still with them, sell at 50, and one by the Senate don't sell, practically which one should they obey?
Besides the motion which the NNPC boss raised as one of the reasons to justify the continued payment of kerosene subsidy, the Minister of Petroleum had at the public hearing last week said there is no gazette authorizing the withdrawal of kerosene subsidy. However, when contacted, an NNPC official who did not want to be named said the NNPC has presented the figures of how much it has spent in kerosene subsidy to the Senate Committee on Finance. Nevertheless, the Senate directed its Committee on Finance to unravel the mystery behind the kerosene subsidy scam and report back to the Senate. Now, away from the controversy on subsidy on kerosene, President Goodluck Jonathan suspended the CBN governor on Thursday for alleged acts of recklessness. The president also sent the name of Sanusi's successor to the Senate for confirmation. The Senate has not officially reacted to Sanusi's suspension, but the House of Representatives sure has. Watch.
President Goodluck Jonathan has sent the name of Godwin Emefiele to the Senate to be confirmed as the governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. In a letter read on the floor of the Senate, President Jonathan told the Senate that the tenure of the suspended CBN governor will expire on June the 1st, 2014, and asked the Senate to confirm Mr. Emefiele as his replacement. The name of Adelabu Adekola was also sent in for confirmation as a deputy governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria.
In view of the fact that the term of the current governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, will end on June 1, 2014, and pursuant to the provisions of Section 8.1 and 2 of the CBN Act 2007, I hereby forward the name of Mr. Godwin I. Emefiele for kind consideration and confirmation by the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for appointment as Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria. It is my hope that in the usual tradition of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, this will receive expeditious consideration. Please accept as usual the Swing Senate President the assurance of my highest consideration. Signed, Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, President. The second letter is also addressed to the President of the Senate. Appointment of Deputy Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria. In line with the provisions of Section 8.1 and 2 of the CBN Act 2007, I hereby forward the name of Mr. Adelabu Adebayo Adekola for kind consideration and confirmation by the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria for appointment as Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. It is my hope that in the usual tradition of the distinguished Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, this will receive expeditious consideration.
Meanwhile, the House of Representatives has condemned the suspension of Lamido Sanusi as the governor of the Central Bank by President Goodluck Jonathan. It started with this motion on the matter.
What we are saying is that we must learn to use the rule, to apply the rule equally, and must do it in a manner that will ensure equity, fairness, and justice to all persons. We believe strongly that under the CBN Act, the CBN governor cannot be suspended. He can only be removed. There are funds that are alleged to be missing. We have not found those funds. The man who is making the allegation, whether it's correct or not, is being removed from office. I believe, Mr. Speaker, that this is not fair. On the Nigerian state, I am not a friend to Mr. Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, but the truth must be told that under the circumstance, this matter of missing funds ought to have been resolved. If Sanusi is found to have blown an alarm that is misplaced, then you can sack him. But in any case, his tenure is coming to an end.
This presentation was interrupted by a lawmaker who read the relevant section of the CBN Act, which he said gives the president the powers to remove the CBN governor.
Deputy Governor or Director of the bank, if he is in 2F, is removed by the president. Is removed by the president, Mr. Speaker. Provided that the removal of the governor shall be supported by 2/3 majority of the Senate. Mr. Speaker! Hold on! No, I know where I'm going.
Chief Whip! Order!
What's it that? We can't constitute ourselves into a court. No. We can't constitute ourselves into a court. Suppose what we are here. I have my brand. He was suspension. He was suspended. Let him be found a family here. In a case, is the CBN a public institution? 1. 2. Is the CBN governor a public officer? Then 3. Is there a public service rules operating in this country? And as a public officer, is he bound by those rules? And by the public service rules that I know, that if a public officer is found wanting and it is deemed in the eyes of the principal that his continued stay there, the continued stay there will hamper the course of investigation or justice. He will be caused to step aside.
I will therefore rule this way, that his point of order is sustained.